The first thing the woman did after being reborn was rush to a lottery station to buy a ticket for a jackpot worth approximately $100 million. However, when it came time to pay, she realized she only had a little over $20 on her, which wasn't enough to buy the ticket. Desperate, she called her mother-in-law for help, only to be scolded harshly. Her mother-in-law accused her of being a housewife who wasted money. Next, she thought of her husband, but he had just spent $30,000 on a designer bag for his mistress and refused to give her even a penny. Heartbroken, the woman felt utterly hopeless, but she knew she had to buy that lottery ticket. After all, she was a reincarnated soul and vividly remembered that the winning ticket had been sold at this very location. In her previous life, the woman had devoted herself entirely to her family, only to discover that her husband had been having an affair. He had even conspired with his mistress to kill her. After her death, as a wandering spirit, she watched as her husband comforted his mistress, showing no remorse for what he had done. When her mother-in-law and son arrived, the woman expected them to stand up for her, but instead, her mother-in-law fussed over the mistress, and even her own son called the other woman mom. To make matters worse, the $5 million she had won from the lottery ended up in the hands of her betrayers. Filled with rage and hatred, she vowed that if she were ever given another chance, she would make them pay, even if it meant becoming a vengeful ghost. Miraculously, time reversed, and the woman found herself reborn 10 days before her death. The day her mother-in-law had lied to her about not winning the lottery. Seeing the familiar surroundings, the woman recalled how she had slaved for her family in her past life, only to be betrayed and drained of everything. This time, she was determined to make them suffer. She searched everywhere for the lottery ticket but found it missing. Rushing out of the bedroom, she caught her mother-in-law secretly handing the ticket to her husband. The woman tried to take it back, but her mother-in-law blocked her and ordered her to take their son to school. Ignoring her mother-in-law's interference, the woman chased after her husband, but he had already driven away. She ran after him but was too late. She watched in despair as he handed the ticket to his mistress. The sight of them flirting made her sick to her stomach. To make matters worse, her husband had also stolen the money she had saved for her parents' retirement and used it to buy his mistress a designer bag. Furious, the woman wanted to slap them both, but her son suddenly ran up, demanding she take him to school. When she didn't respond, he threw his backpack on the ground, threw a tantrum, and forced her to apologize. In the past, the woman would have patiently dealt with her son's behavior, but now, seeing through his manipulation, she turned and walked away without looking back. As she passed by a lottery shop, she remembered the winning numbers from her past life. Excited, she wanted to buy the ticket immediately, but it cost 40 yuans, and she didn't even have half of that. Desperate, she scrolled through her contacts and found her father's number.